So today I received my Kelly Shu-mount, shock mount, in the mail today. This is my second one of these, and there's actually one installed on a D-drum kit that I purchased. But this is the second one I've installed, and I've also got a Kelly Shu Flatz for a boundary mic. I'll show you that here in a minute, but this is for the Yamaha Tour Custom 8000 series, and you can see the XLR jack was actually a tom mount. I just drilled two tiny screw holes on either side of it to mount that XLR jack. I'll show you that from the inside. I want to show you the permanent XLR socket cable kit from Kelly. I got two of these, one of them for that. Now I did drill a hole in that shell. I know it's sacrilege, but it's at the bottom and out of sight, and I did it right. So I've got a permanent XLR in there with an 18-inch cable, a little like pigtail cable, not too long but not too short. I had a problem on a 22-inch coming in from the top for the boundary mic, but with the Sennheiser on the regular shoe mount, I don't have a problem. So yeah, it comes in a kit with the cable. It also has a 15/16 spade bit and a 7/64 drill bit if you need those. You can get them without those if you didn't have. I just ordered them with the first one to make sure I had the right thing. But yeah, it makes it really easy to install. I'll show you what it looks like here on the inside. Just two screws basically holding that in. I went in through a tom mount so I didn't have to drill the big hole, and yeah, just screwed it in. Cable comes down, plugs right into the back of the microphone, and there's a couple inches distance once this thing lays down flat, so it's not going to touch the front of the head. Even in transport, it's not touching. So that's how that kit works. And incidentally, Kelly does make a system now that goes through the vent hole with a smaller, like one of those 1/8 inch or whatever size those are, those small ones. So you can stick it down in there, and then it's got an XLR to the same connector, so you can just plug it in, use a smaller one to get through the vent hole, so you don't have to drill anything. So and then you're going to have an XLR on either side of that to connect to and from. But I've got this suspended in there, so I can just travel around with it, put it in a case, and it's going to be where it was every time. So it's all about repeatability and good quality stuff. Now this mic I have, it's basically just forward of center and tilted up slightly, so I'm not pointing right at the beaters, pointed above that, kind of at the edge of the drum, like I would put a mic on a tom. I'm not pointing toward the center of the drum on those. I want to get the tone out of this. So and the cable in back is about 2 inches. It drops about 2 inches in front of the head, so it's not touching. There's no contact there, which is nice. But I also reinstalled or properly installed the Evans EMAD pad. I really like those, whether I'm using Evans EMAD heads or not, and I'm not. But I just let the fat business part of that just lightly rest up against the front head, and that's it. As far as on the back, of course, I use the Aquarian Super Kick 2. I love these. I have these for my 18 when I use that as a kick, and also my 20-inch kick here. That 20-inch kick, it's the Pearl MHX Mahogany. That already has a Sennheiser E902 mounted in it on a Kelly mount, just like this one does. But the Super Kick 2 Aquarian heads are just wonderful. I used to use EMAD, but no, I'm sold on these Aquarians. But yeah, this is a pretty easy job to do. I had to fuss with it a little bit. I had the hooks mounted first in the back, and it was too close to that rear head. So while you can slide the mic forward and backward on this, I wanted to get this just forward of center, the head of the mic, and it's pointed, as you can see, just slightly up above where the beaters would be into the meat of the head. But it sounds great. Last time I had it mounted, I had the one inside there mounted in here, and it just sounds phenomenal. What a great kick mic, and this is a nice birch mahogany 22-inch kick, and yeah, talk about beefy. This sounds really, really good. It's not a good indoor kit though. It's pretty loud. But let me show you the other Kelly mount that I have. And before I take this off and show you the mic inside, I want to show you how I have this gong drum. It's an 18x16 bass drum. I pulled the bottom hardware off and head, and it's just a really nice drum, disembodied voice boom of death that I just love. But I just left the Pearl double tom mount on the drum, when it was used like that for a bass drum, and I just use a Tama arm in there, a tom arm, and just plug that thing right in just like another tom, so I don't have to worry about big stands or massive clamps or anything. Drum doesn't weigh that much, so I just plug it right in like that. Okay, so you may hear a thunderstorm in the background that's going on right now, but this is the Pearl MHX Mahogany. It's what I use as a gong drum. It's an 18-inch by 16 deep kick drum. I've taken the rear hardware off and the leg hardware. And it's a great bass drum, by the way. I have an Aquarian Super Kick, too, I use for a batter head on it. A wonderful little drum. It thumps. And I play with a classic rock band, and it sounded really good with that. We even played outside. It just had a Sennheiser E902 inside of it, and that thing rocked, man. So I'm using it as a gong. I do have an EMAD head. I don't have any padding on there, any muffling. I just use it with that ring, which is perfect for how I have that tuned right now, which is pretty much dead, but it sounds wonderful. Inside of that, I've got a Shure Beta 91A boundary mic, and you can see it just swinging happily and joyfully on its Kelly Shu Flatz mount. And so I've got a Kelly Shu-mount in there. I've got one in there and a Flatz mount in here for this boundary mic. But placement is just above where you would normally set it if you set it onto an EQ pad, and it's below center. So it's going to be getting all that bite. I believe that's a 60-degree capture angle on the front of that. So you're getting the meat and the impact of that. But all that wood, that mahogany smells so good. I'm going to stick my head in there and just huff that for about a half hour. It's just, it's so nice. But yeah, this is going to be an easy mount here, an easy application. The way I showed you that I mount this, all I have to do now is just take the fan of my drum snake that goes to this, plug her in, and plug in the bass drum and the toms, and it doesn't get any easier than that. But I can't wait to hear this live. I'm not going to be doing this indoors, probably. I'll use an electro voice for that. I don't know. I might like this, but I'll let you know how this goes. But I really like these products, these Kelly Shu Flatz and Kelly shock mount system that they have. It's very simple to use. It's made well. I can trust it. I don't have to give it a second thought, and I trust good mics on it, and it's keeping everything where I want it, and repeatability and durability and quality is really important to me. But yeah, good stuff, guys. You make great products, great customer service, and thanks for the pen too. You make cool pens. Appreciate it.